Like if you found the video valuable. Detective Aaron Wells had seen strange cases, but nothing like room 212 at the Bramblewick Hotel. A single occupant, a single night, and in the morning, a body, a locked door, and no key. The front desk clerk said the guest checked in under the name Martin Rowe. No luggage, paid in cash, quiet. The cleaning staff found him the next morning, dead on the floor, a knife through the chest. No signs of forced entry. The door had been locked from the inside. The crime scene. There was no sign of a struggle. The window was bolted shut from the inside. No fire escape. No fingerprints other than Martin's. No murder weapon found. Just the body, and a note on the nightstand. I was never here. The witness. The only person who interacted with Martin was Lydia Quinn, a night receptionist. She said he seemed anxious. Asked for a quiet room. Paid in cash. Didn't even want a keycard. Asked for an old-fashioned brass key. And he'd told her something else. If anything happens to me, check the drawer. Wells opened the drawer. Inside, a tape recorder, still running. The recording. The audio crackled. Martin's voice, hurried. If you're hearing this, it means it didn't work. I thought the room was safe. I thought locking myself in would stop it. A pause. A whisper. But you can't lock out memory. Then, a second voice. Deeper. Calm. Male. You're not alone in this room. The recording ended in static. The mystery deepens. Security footage showed Martin entering the room at 10:13 p.m. No one else entered or left. But at 2:06 a.m., the hallway camera caught a flicker, just one frame, of Martin standing outside the door. Then it glitched, and in the next frame, he was gone. But how? The room was still locked. He was found inside. Wells rechecked the timestamp, 2:06 a.m., the estimated time of death. Martin Rowe wasn't real. The name didn't exist. No ID, no license. Fingerprints came back as belonging to a man named Peter Carlin, a freelance investigator who disappeared 6 years earlier while working on a cult-related missing persons case. Wells pulled the file. Carlin had gone off-grid after digging too deep into a private retreat called the Threshold Circle. His last known note: they hide in plain sight. Not people, places. The strange blueprint, taped to the back of the mirror in room 212, was a blueprint. Not of the hotel, of room 212 only. It was labeled, Threshold Anchor, Phase 2. And below it, scrawled in red ink: it doesn't matter how you lock the door, if the door is already part of them. Wells had no idea what that meant, until the room locked itself while he was still inside. Trapped, he called out to the hallway. No answer. His phone had no signal. Then, the lights flickered, and the tape recorder clicked back on, by itself. Martin's voice again: if you're in the room, you've already lost. It doesn't want you to leave. It wants you to remember. Wells felt the walls pressing inward, and behind the bathroom mirror, he saw movement. The hidden room. There was a false wall. Behind it, a space barely wide enough for a person. He crawled in and found a second door, a peephole aimed at room 212. Inside were photographs pinned to the wall. Every guest who had died in 212. There were 7 before Martin, each listed as natural causes or suicide. But the room always stayed locked from the inside. The threshold circle. On the wall, etched in dust. A strange circle of symbols, matching the case files from Carlin's cult investigation. One phrase repeated: the room remembers. Wells snapped photos, shoved the recorder into his pocket, and forced the main door open with his shoulder. As he turned back, room 212 was dark again. The lock re-latched on its own. The hotel manager. Wells confronted the manager, who had been oddly silent throughout. When shown the evidence, he simply smiled. Room 212 doesn't belong to us. It was added after construction. No blueprints, no key logs. Some things were meant to stay closed. Wells demanded they shut it down. The manager nodded. We've tried, but someone always opens it again. Epilogue: a new guest. A week later, room 212 was removed from the booking system. The door sealed, but in the registry log, someone had scribbled in pen, April 6 L. Quinn, room 212. Lydia, the receptionist, had gone missing 2 nights earlier. When police opened the room, they found her coat on the chair. And a new note: I remembered.